our minds are linked to our hearts. They are this close together, and they are miles apart. Our hearts say they want to grow, I want to love God, I want to follow God, and our mind is off doing other things, accepting different inputs, and wanting to believe other garbage, and our mind and our heart are always at odds. Paul says it's hostile, it's a war, what is going on inside of us. So if your head feels that time, if you feel the struggle, you're human. Welcome to the human race. Welcome to the Journey Church. This is all normal, and this is all mind games. Paul says certain words like human reasoning, false arguments. He's using words to describe the stuff that we're going into our brain. We're letting it turn around and play with our brains. And what we once thought was good and right and moral and godly, somewhere along the line we begin to say, yeah, it's not that bad. And you know what? And maybe I can get away with it. Or it really doesn't matter anymore. I'm still a good person. Because of false arguments and things. And it's psychological warfare. This is a war tactic. It's been going on since the beginning of time. It's psychology. Satan knows it. People know it. It's psychological warfare. And this is how the military came up with a great definition of it. After World War II, psychological warfare, Adolf Hitler used it big time. And this is where the United States, the chiefs of staff came up with this definition. Psychological warfare employs any weapon to influence the mind. The weapons are psychological only in the effect that they produce and not the weapons themselves. They'll do anything. They'll use any technique, any trick of the trade to screw with your mind, to unravel it and manipulate it. And their goal is, in psychological warfare, you were once believing this, and we want you to believe this. And we will do anything to make you switch teams. It's been going on for centuries. Sight and sound are two of the big things. They use TV, they use radio, they use propaganda. We're going to look at some of that. The sight and sound are the two big ways that they do psychological warfare. And in our lives, with our minds, Satan hasn't changed the trick. Satan's still messing with sight and sound, sight and sound. And again, the military understands how this connects to our hearts so much. This is a quote from a general. This general says, captivate their minds, and their hearts and souls will follow. Think about that. Captivate their minds, and their hearts and their souls will follow. Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Jesus knew it. The military knows it. Do we realize how much our mind is a part of transforming our heart? And how much we need to get in there and unpack and wrestle with it. Listen to that same passage I read just a few minutes ago. Just listen to the words of 2 Corinthians from the Message. Here's a paraphrase. This is street language. The world is unprincipled. It's dog-eat-dog out there. The world doesn't fight fair. For we don't live or fight our battles that way. Never have and never will. The tools of our trade aren't for marketing or manipulation. They are for demolishing the entire massively corrupt culture. We use our powerful God tools for smashing warped philosophies, tearing down barriers erected against the truth, fitting every loose thought and emotion and impulse into the structure of life shaped by Christ. Our tools are ready at hand for clearing the ground of every obstacle and building lives of obedience into maturity. This is serious stuff in our life. This is things that we just ignore, but it's a part of transforming our life. And the first thing Paul says is, the first thing he talks about is, if we're going to renovate, we got to do some demolishing. So this is fun. Guys had a great time yesterday with the jackhammers. 2 of them yesterday. We had to get in there and rip in. Their bodies are shaking, and they're laughing, they're having a good time. People are slapping walls and blowing things up with this thing. We like destroying things. We're good at destroying things, or at least I am. Fixing, plumbing, repairing, the guys won't let me do it at U-turn. I can't duct tape or do anything. But they'll let me blow things up. We need to identify what are these things that are affecting our lives, and we need to literally gut them. We need to remove these obstacles, things like alcoholism, racism, pride. Those are some personal ones because it's knowledge. It's a head game. The world has huge ones. There's all sorts of ones out there. There's false religions, materialism, gambling, pornography. I'm just going to pick on pornography for a second. It's a huge one in our culture. We have people that think, okay, it's just a little simple thing. I can get rid of it anytime I want to. And it gets into our mind, it gets into our heart, it gets into our soul. And our mind begins to say, you know what, maybe it will help my sex life. My wife and I will feel better about each other because I fantasize better. That's a lie. Go into your brain. When in fact the scriptures say, this is a beautiful creation of God, and sex is a gift. We need to get in there. We need to smash the stuff that the world's telling us. We need to get in there and rip this out and say, you know what? That's a bunch of hogwash. We need to really understand that we're buying into this and it's affecting our relationship. Throw the internet away. If you have a pornography online issue, trash it. Burn your collection. Burn your DVDs. Do whatever you need to do. That's the type of thing we're talking about. We're really talking about rolling up your sleeves and destroying the strongholds in your life. Don't do it one step at a time. Don't do it baby steps. Call a friend. Get some buddies. Do whatever it takes and say, you know, I'm done. I've got to demolish it. You cannot build back up until you have ripped it down and destroyed it.